My name is Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at the College of Charleston.
Good job.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
David.
Where's everybody?
9 painful months.
Without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search.
Because of the way seatbelt locked, so we know seatbelt. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone who's coming in on this live. I'm David Robinson. I'm the father of missing geologist Daniel Robinson. Everyone, I want to thank you so much for, like I said, being here on a Saturday. It's been a long week this week, and I know many of you had long weeks, so I'm hoping that you actually have an opportunity to be with family and friends this weekend. Get some time to relax, and get ready for the new week. Many of you may have work on this weekend, but hope those days and the time at your jobs, go really smoothly. I'm here today to talk about my son's case, Daniel Robinson, to let you know, hey, this is an ongoing thing. My mission to find my son is ongoing. It's something I would not stop doing. I am a father. I love my son. Want to make sure we're bringing Daniel justice that he deserves. Some of those justice come from everything I have been doing from day one. Many people know that Daniel has been missing for over 3 years now, though the time has went by really fast, the pain and the struggles that my family and I are feeling is live. It's happening every day for us. So every day, every moment is a day that we are here without Daniel. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing my part as a father to bring awareness to his case, to keep his case alive and well that it should be. There's many leads into my son's case. It's just the fact of getting law enforcement to act upon those leads that I have provided for them. As you guys can see right here behind is the overlay picture of the vehicle, the way it was found out in that ravine. Daniel has been, to give you a little backdrop for those who may not know about Daniel's case, he's a geologist. He's a scientist. He's an American scientist from Columbia, South Carolina. He graduated from the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. He's doing what he loved. He wanted to be a geologist. He graduated with honors. Decided to take his career out into Arizona. He landed in Phoenix, Arizona. Was his first place that he lived, and then moved over to the city next to it called Tempe, Arizona. During the time he ended up going missing. working for a company called Matrix New World. It's an engineering company that hire geologists like my son. They hired him on as a field geologist, though. Field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist, because Arizona is a desert state. They utilize a lot of groundwater, especially for the cities. They have to have those, by law, have to have two sets of groundwater that could sustain a community for over 100 years. Those every 100 years, those groundwater have to be able to recharge itself in order for that community to be built. So his job is very important for a state like Arizona. Daniel, like I said, doing the job that he loves. He's a person that like to be in nature, like to be around science. He's entrepreneur spirit, young man, have dreams, aspirations to travel and go abroad to learn about cultures and things like that. So again, my son, being the person that he is, went out to work. So those who don't know about his case, went out to work one morning to do what he does, his job that he loved, and he went missing. He went missing. He did two well sites. He was assigned to two well sites that morning on June the 23rd of 2021. Went out to the first site, took a couple pictures of logs. And then his next step was to meet a person named Ken from a company called Weber Waterworks out into Sun Valley Parkway. That's outside of the Sonoran Desert. And my son allegedly met him out on the roadway and followed him into this desert. They went 1 mile west, 2 miles north to get to a well site where this company, Weber Waterworks, drills these wells. And, his job was to, like I said, again, assess those volumes of water that comes out of the ground to make sure it's sustainable for a community that's planning to build out there in that area. And so, again, he went missing. The guy said that they met there at Sun Valley Parkway, like I said, made it to his well site at 9 o'clock in the morning. Around 9:15, he said my son waved off to him, got in his vehicle that you see right here behind me, drove off to never be seen again. Almost 30 days later, matter of fact, a couple of days ago, made it a third year when this vehicle right here showed up over about 3.5, 4 miles away from that well site, further into that desert, the Sonoran Desert. And this might not look like it, but it's a 20-foot ravine. It's lying on the side, as you can see, on the passenger side. Everything allegedly on my son's body right here behind that overlay there. Everything on his body from his from the underwear to his socks was lying in a pile. Allegedly, his clothing lying in that pile out there 3 feet away from that vehicle. But my son remains missing to this day. So that's just the overlay of what happened with my son. It's a lot of detail involving his disappearance. A lot of things that just don't make sense. When I say it don't make sense, it's especially in terms of what law enforcement came up with. Everything we know about my son's case, whether it's the 11 additional miles, the 46 initial cycles after the first crash, the vehicle being planted here, the evidence of from eyewitnesses that say the vehicle wasn't there 2 days prior to everything came from my own personal investigation. I hired a private investigators also who found these details about the vehicle. We relayed those things over to law enforcement, and they still feel there's no foul play in my son's case. However, we do have the evidence and show them the things that they do know that suggest foul play. But because of the nature of the beast that my son and my family have to deal with, we are still relying on people like you to support my son's case. When I say support his case, share his story, keep his story alive and well. It's very important to my family. It's very important to Daniel. Because the easiest part for law enforcement to do when people start walking away, families start walking away, is to say, hey, it's a cold case. We did what we can do. There's nothing else left. And like I was telling my auntie just a while ago, I beg to differ. We still have airbags that have not been tested from this vehicle. Remind you guys, everybody know that when airbags deploy on the passenger side, that's because someone over the pounds of, I believe, 60 pounds around that area sitting in the passenger side. That's the only way that airbag would deploy. All the airbags deployed in that vehicle. And so we want to know who else was in the vehicle at the time of deployment, airbag deployment. Law enforcement refusing to do that, to test these airbags, refusing to do proper forensics on this vehicle. refusing the fact that my family says we do not recognize this clothing that's sitting 3 feet away from the vehicle. My daughter, who see my son almost every day, she lived in Phoenix at the time, and she don't recognize the clothing. But yet law enforcement is forcing it and say it's Daniel's clothing without even testing it. So we want to make sure those are leads and things that is available that law enforcement is refusing to act upon. Also, the fact that in my investigation, I found, my investigator went in and found that someone was tampering in Daniel's apartment. Well, it appeared that way at the time. We just didn't have any evidence if it was Daniel or not. Did this happen before he went to work that morning or after? So we didn't have the time frame, but we ended up getting that time frame based on the fact that I had worked really hard with my team. And many of you know the A team. I call them. We was able to get a meeting with the mayor of Tempe, along with the chief of police and assistant chief, and put together the typical excuse me, I may have a little lag here. Put together a favor for me as a father and do the forensics. I've been asking them to do forensic. Many of you know for over a year or two, I was trying to get forensics done on my own. It was very expensive. But I'm glad I didn't because it would have mess up the chain of custody that law enforcement already messed up at the time. But I was able to convince Tempe Police Department to do the forensics on everything of Daniels electronically. And they agreed to do so. They also said they would have to share those findings with the Buckeye Police Department. But you know what? They found when those reports came back, we found that someone was in Dane's apartment utilizing his computer after he went missing. So that kind of gave us a time frame of what happened. When I said again, my private investigator went in and found evidence of someone looking for something, pulling drawers out, and you name it. His room was a mess. Somebody was looking for something, so we could put those two things together and say, that someone was in Dane's apartment after he went missing. So those are leads that's out there. Those leads that the public don't really hear about so much because law enforcement again is refusing to follow up on. No matter what, they're really satisfied patting themselves on the back. Along with also, I think his name is Akil. He's over the FBI in the Phoenix area field office. Pat themselves on the back as law enforcement to say, "Hey, we did all we can. That's all we're going to do, or whatever the case may be." And those are things that I'm currently fighting for. So what I'm saying is that I need you guys to constantly support me in my efforts because as soon as I let my foot off the paddle again, it'll become a cold case. With everything I just told you, it is far from a cold case. It's just a matter of fact, a matter of time when I will be able to get law enforcement to do the right thing. So I'm going to continue to do what I do. As many of you know, I'm just going to throw this out as well because I'll be talking about this on the back end. I'm running for Congress. I'm running for U.S. Congress as well. It's because I have been fighting for my son. I see some of the things that can come out. Again, part of my efforts to find my son is to get data that's available. That's another thing that has been a hindrance. And I find again, I told you guys before, when I talk about my son's case, I call him America's son. Call him America's son because what happened for my family happened to many, many, many Americans. It's happening right now. Every day we have over 3,500 people go missing every day in this country. And right now, some family going through the same exact thing that my family going through with Daniel. Trying to force law enforcement to do the right things, etc. So what I'm saying is that my run for Congress has a lot to do with that as well. My run for Congress is to alleviate some of the things that has been happening in my son's case that I know is happening right now in this country, and it also will help me get those answers I'm looking for. I want those cell phone pings, that data that's out there, that's currently out there for my son. I need these answers that's been held back from a family like mine that is available, and it's all because of policies that these companies can hide behind, and as well as law enforcement not willing to do, and things like that. We have so much technology. You guys know that it's 2024, and we have a lot of technology out there that we're not utilizing when it comes to missing Americans, and that's the reason why we have so many people remain missing. We have so many people, unidentified bodies out there. All these things is contributing to not utilizing everything that we have available, all the tools that we have available. We're talking about the Clear Act and some of these other things that a friend of mine in Louisiana want to get in place. A Clear Act for adults like my son. We have the Silver Alert, we have the Amber Alert, but we need to have all these other alerts when it comes to families who know when something is wrong, like we did. My family know that it's out of character for Daniel to go missing the way he did, and that this is a emergency situation. Had we had a clear alert, for instance, in Arizona in place, I really doubt that we'd be at this point right now of not having some answers that we could have got when things was fresh and new. So that's what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for. So when you see, you hear, and you supporting everything I have been doing since day one, you're just supporting my efforts to find Daniel, and I really applaud you for that. I thank you. But this thing don't stop. When I say I need your support, I need your support in everything I'm doing, whether it's the running for Congress to the fact that I'm actually out here trying to fight for other Americans of the missing as well. I try to do everything I can to support every case that I can find, and this run, for instance, is part of that. My live right now is part of that. So everything, it runs together. So everybody, I need you to also join in with me. Keep your foot on the pedal with me. We're not going to allow law enforcement to put this case behind, not to allow them to put any case behind that's deserving of the attention and that we need. So I want to go real quick here and talk about the missing in America. One of the things that like I said, again, I put out some information. Missing in America, we have, like I say, according to the National Missing and Identified Persons Nameless Database, which is funded by the U.S. Department of Justice, more than over 600,000 Americans. I want to change that word from people to Americans. Americans go missing annually. Approximately 4,400 identified bodies are recovered each year. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, National Missing and Unidentified Person Systems, there are 22,740 missing Americans in the United States as of February. And that was in 2023. Everyone, I'm telling you, those numbers are a lot higher now. Every case of the missing is urgently important. There is no case out there that is less worthy of the attention that we need. We definitely need that. And again, statistically, for the United States, nearly 40% of the missing are persons of color, yet Black Americans make up only 13% of the population. And these people of color are people like my son Daniel, who went missing on June 23rd of 2021. So what I'm saying is, and also the fact that what I'm saying is, you guys, it's very important to remember those statistics. It is a crisis that's bigger than what a lot of times we talk about the opioid crisis. It's huge. Those are the things that I'm as well advocating for, is to make sure that we're holding those accountable. When I make it to Congress, for instance, those are things I would support, policies and things that's been put in place already to combat the opioids that's coming into this country, just hurting our Americans. But one of the things, like I said, is bigger. It's been going on for a long time. It's a silent. It's almost like a high blood pressure is a silent killer. That is a missing American crisis that's happening in this country. It happens over, like I say again, you see the statistics. It's happening every day. Over 2,500 of those are children every day that go missing in this country. But yet we're not talking about it. We're not discussing this thing as it's something that's happening every day, and it is happening every day in this country. So again, by far the most common reasons of a person is reported missing is kidnapping, particularly of children under the age of 6. According to the Child Find of America, up to 2,300 children are reported missing every day in this country. So again, you guys, this is a crisis that we have to be taken care of. We cannot just sit there and walk away and just put blindfolds eyes, stick our head in the sand as if this don't exist. I'm here. God put me in the right place at the right time. Under tragedy of my son here, Daniel Robinson, I was able to stand up for our missing Americans. One way I want to say real quick, you guys, I want to point out some other cases that's out there. And I tell you all the time, please share a case a day. It's a lifeline for a missing American. It's a lifeline for a family who don't know what to do. They'll put their information out there on social media, say, "Hey, I have a missing loved one. Can you please share the story?" I mean, even if they don't say share the story, share the story. It's a lifeline. It's a lifeline. It could be the difference between that person being found or not being found. If we catch it early, we got to catch it fast and early. So definitely want to do that. I want to put up on the screen here a few, and one of the things is, like I say again, I just want to put them up, and I'm hoping because the ones I put up here, I had them for a while. I don't know if some of these have been found or just some updates of this, but this is what I have currently. Missing from Aurora, Colorado. She's been missing since June 20th of 2024. Her name is Daneil Willis. She's now 20 years old. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you can get in touch with the Black and Missing Foundation, and you see the information here on the screen. Also, we have Dewan Jeanette Shaw Gibson, missing out of Hinesville, Georgia, missing on September 13, 2024. She's now 40 years old. Again, Black and Missing Foundation, the information right here on the screen. Desiree Hill, missing out of Washington, D.C. On October 25th, 2021. And she's now 14 years old. Again, the information right here on the screen. We also have Sean White, missing out of Washington, D.C. as well. December the 8th, 2002. Sean White is 21 years old. If you have any information, please share, get in contact with the Black and Missing Foundation. And also, you see these police department numbers here. Missing as well out of Baltimore, Maryland, and June the 20th of 2024. Taziah Alana Warren is missing. She's 12 years old. We want to bring this child home. Again, you all remember when I had the other event recently, the third year, and some would call it anniversary. I don't like really say anniversary, but when my son Daniel went missing, I was able to put an event together and talk about missing Americans. We had many some experts on as well to talk about how their organizations can help and some of the resources is out there. But these are cases also I want you to keep in mind. I had put them up before. We have Kaya Taylor. Kaya is a young woman from Plantville City, Florida, who went missing on February the 6th, 2020. Her car was found abandoned and running at a railroad crossing with her belongings inside. Despite extensive search and investigations, no significant leads have emerged. Known for her vibrant personality and close relationships, Kaya's disappearance has deeply affected her family and community. So I say, you guys, everybody, please, by all means, pay attention to these stories I'm putting up right now. You see some information on the bottom of the screen. If you have any information about Kaya Taylor's whereabouts, you can call the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office at the number you see on the bottom of the screen. Again, I'm going to leave it here for a second. And if you have those information, please contact the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. But thank you so much for paying attention to that, as well as some pictures here of Kaya with her family. And also we have Tiffany Reed. Tiffany Reed had went missing on May the 17th. That's 2004. Tiffany Reed mysteriously vanished while on her way to Shiprock Northwest High School in Shiprock, New Mexico. Tiffany's older sister, Dondra Reed, told NCMEC that she last saw her Tiffany hurrying out the door since she was running late for school, which was only down the street. The family discovered that Tiffany never made it to school, marking that morning as the last time anyone has seen her. Deandra promised that despite the time has gone by, she would never stop searching for her sister and is hopeful that she would find answers her family has been looking for. So again, and I know that pain all too well. Like I said, one of those things you would not stop doing. You cannot for your loved one. That's a continuation of everything that we do as a family. Is very painful. Like I said, every day is always that a painful day. It don't just stop. You don't have the answers you're looking for. You don't have the closures. You just don't know what to think. You don't know if your person's still here or not. But you keep that hope alive and you keep on fighting. Also, we have Veronica Reyes Diaz. The information is on the bottom of the screen. If you have any information about her whereabouts, please utilize that information on the bottom. Veronica Reyes Diaz was last seen early on Saturday, January 18th, 2020. According to her father, uh, Fidencio, she went out with a friend on Friday night after dropping her two older sons, aged 4 and 5, at her sister's house in Plant City, Florida. After being dropped off by her friends around 1:15 a.m. on Saturday, Veronica picked up her boys from her sister's house and returned home. Then she apparently left again, but did not come back. Her Chevy Yukon was found parked outside of her house with her keys and wallet inside. Her cell phone pinged in the area over the weekend, but was turned off by Monday. Again, please, by all means, utilize the information you see on the bottom of the screen. Please contact the Navajo Department of Public Safety, Shiprock District in New Mexico with the number below. So thank you so much. If you have any information, oh, I think I put the wrong information up there. Let me fix that information on the bottom, everyone. If you know about the whereabouts of Reyes Diaz, please contact the Hillsborough County Sheriff Office at the number below. We also have Matthew Vatrami. He was last heard from. Hold on, let me put the information up here as well. He was last heard from on March the 1st of 2021 in Orlando. The father of two recently moved to Sunshine State, hoping for a new start. His family and friends are actively searching and utilizing social media, and to raise awareness. Anyone have information to urge to contact the Miami Police Department at 305-603-6640. And again, the family man want to make sure we'll bring him home as well. Next, we have Alex Crux. We have Alex Crux. And this is a story as well that I had on my event this went past. Alex Crux. Alex Crux was last seen by family or friends on July the 17th of 2020. Crux was last seen in the vicinity of 1900 West Finn Place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on July the 17th, 2020. He has never been heard from again. He didn't own a vehicle at the time of his disappearance and traveled on foot, by bus, or getting a ride from someone. Cross had recently moved to Milwaukee from Chicago, Illinois, and was staying with friends and working as a welder. According to his friends, he had talked about a woman he met online and said he wanted to travel to Texas and subsequently to Mexico to meet her. Something his friends tried to discourage him from doing. He did not have enough money or to get to Texas on his own, and it is not clear whether he traveled there after his disappearance. His family stated that he kept in regular contact with them, and they don't believe he would have voluntarily gone without contact for a long time. And again, I want to point this out real quick as well. When the family knows something is wrong, a family knows something is wrong. You can hear the same thing in this family's case. They knew something was wrong. This is out of his character, something that just not Alice, and they know that something did not add up and didn't make sense. So again, when a family says something is wrong, and we have to take that. I say this to law enforcement. You have to take that word. For law enforcement's job is not to go out and say things like they did in Daniel's case, for instance. He's a grown man. He could disappear if he want to. Nobody told them that. They didn't call them at the department and say, hey, I want to disappear on my own. Nobody, a lot of times, some people do, but you can't just assume that. A lot of times people have to go to law enforcement. Law enforcement say, "Oh, they're just a runaway or something. Some child, just a runaway," and they don't take as a serious account of what's really going on. The family desperately did all their due diligence, like you see in the story, Alice Cross, when he said, "Hey, look, the family called as friends. Everybody says he's out of character. No, he did not. He didn't. He doesn't just walk away. So we know something's not right. So again, family would do their due diligence up front before they even call law enforcement in the first place. So law enforcement job is not to assess the seriousness of this event, but actually do their job. That mean putting out the NCIC and the database, put into this system the BOLA to put out to say, hey, look, APP out and things to say, hey, look, we're looking for this person to start investigating what happened to this person. You got to assume the worst first and then work your way back. And so we have to make sure that law enforcement doing their part, and when it comes to that, to make sure they're working hard to find this person first, and then expect the worst and and hope for the best. Because a lot of times people do go out and say, "Hey, I just want to get away and run from the family," without saying the thing. Things can happen like that. And I'd rather for law enforcement to run up to a person, like I heard a story before. A wife was looking for a husband who had vanished for days, and they end up finding the guy. Long story, at a hotel, and law enforcement urgently looked for the guy, found him, and quickly. And the man said, "I just want to be away. I just want to be away." Some other things were going on, but they weren't able to tell the wife to say, "Hey, look where he was located," because he wanted to be. That was his right as a person. But at least that wife knew that he is alive and well. And so I rather for things like that with law enforcement that, hey, define the person alive and well, and the person say, hey, if they would have found Dane, he said, hey, well, you tell my family I'm a grown man and I want to be gone. They could tell us that. But it was no case like that. Nobody would actually, Daniel would not do that, first of all. That's not his character. Like I told people many times, and my son, for instance, they said that he went to 2 well sites. He went to 2 well sites, and he said he was tired and he wanted to go home, and whatever the case may be. I know my son. Um, you know, he wouldn't have came to the first job, first site, if he was that tired. So some of those things just don't add up when it comes to his character. But what I'm saying is, we know our loved one's character. We know what's going on with our loved one, and I tell you, it's not law enforcement job to determine that. It's the family's job to say, hey, look, this is what's happening. We need you to act upon it, and let's get to work. So, and that would save a whole lot of lives, and it save a whole lot of resources as well. It wouldn't have been thousands of dollars spent out searching for your loved one. And so, those type things, we can get things done quickly. Law enforcement be more efficient. So, again, my run for office would be some of that. It would be a lot of that to do everything I can to bring efficiency to the way things have been run when it comes to missing Americans. And so, again, I need your support in every aspect. And I'm asking everybody right now to help. Please help. Please be a part. I have to get that information out. I have to speak out into here in South Carolina. I had to speak to you guys. I had to put literature out. I had to put things in place, people in place, and I need help. If you want to volunteer, you can help me by volunteering. You can help by donating. You can help by, every means, everything. All hands on deck is what I like to say. All hands on deck, and my efforts to find my son, my efforts to help all Americans, missing Americans as well. It takes everybody. It takes everybody. So thanks so much for those who have been supporting for this length of time. I want to go real quick into the website. Please help find Daniel.com. I'm gonna see if I can get it pulled up right here real quick here. We're gonna go to the website because I want to talk about still continuing my efforts to find my son. And part of that is the biggest part of that is your participation into my efforts. Please help find Daniel.com, the website. For those who may not know, please help find Daniel.com. You come to the website, of course, you see a few things at the top, and these buttons, they have grown over the 3 years, and it means a lot. The sign the petition is one of the biggest things I started off with, and I still continue to need that, you guys, because what's happening is when I go talk to law enforcement, like I'm continually do, send letters, I have you all supporting what I'm doing. You go here and you see Justice for Daniel. It started. I have to do some updates, and I will do it. I have done update in so long. I didn't. I probably need to sign it, but I haven't done an update so long. My next goal is 150,000 signatures. I don't call it signatures. I call it voices. It's your voices. You're supporting what I'm doing. You're supporting my efforts. I say it's your voice. being heard. If you have multiple email addresses, for instance, you can sign this petition multiple times. You put your voice in the petition multiple times. That is your voice being amplified. That's the way I like to look at it. So again, I need you to join in on this petition. It is a very important part of my fight for Daniel. Also, we have here, of course, the donation button that was helping me when I was out in the desert. My efforts with flyers and things like that. So I really appreciate those who have donated over the course of 3 years. Also, the events tab. The events tab is when I have things like a day of remembrance. That you guys remember some of the events I had to help bring awareness to my son's case, as well as other cases out there, because that's my job as a father, is to search for my son. But as a human being, as a person, in the community, whether I live in South Carolina, in Arizona at the time. My job is to utilize everything that God gave me to help other Americans as well that's missing out there, their families. I know the pain that families going through, and this events was also helping with that. If you want to request flyers, that helps me too. These flyers will be free of charge to you. All you do is do the request form here, and have put your information in there. Of course, your address. We send these flyers out to you. And I'm asking everybody who's listening right now to help me continue to get Daniel's flyers out there. Again, like I said, it's part of what I said. Hey, share a story a day. It's still part of that lifeline that I'm talking about. A lifeline for family. When you guys sharing Daniel's story, putting these flyers out in your communities, it's a lifeline for Daniel to keep his case alive and well. It's a lifeline. Sharing it on your social media platform is a lifeline. So I'm relying on that, and I really appreciate your help with that. Also, requesting the flyers. You can also have, let's see, what else I got here. The volunteer to search. I don't have any current searches. I have people asking me right now, Mr. Robinson, when the next time you have your next search? I don't have any current searches. I have a lot. It's a lot of resources and things that goes into planning a search. I have done it for 49 weeks, covered over 35,000 acres of land with Americans like you that came out there in that desert in that 118 degrees to sometimes in the wintertime when it was cold, out there helping me search for Daniel, searching these locations like I said, I told people before, I'm not searching science. We use common sense. We use the available information I got of my son's case that determined where I was searching at the time. And so what I'm saying is that's where the search always happened, the way it happened. It wasn't like I was going out there searching for a whole Sonoran Desert. That wouldn't even make sense. It was based on a lot of information that was out there and everything we had science-wise. But I don't have any plan right now. Like I said, going to take some resources. And the fact that they went forward with this community despite there's not enough water. My son's report would have showed that not enough water out there in that area to sustain the community. They pushing for that anyway because I'm sure it's millions of dollars into that. Volunteer to help in other ways tab. Again, like I said, it's part of the volunteer sign up. If you have volunteers, you want to help me. And I want to extend this a little further. Again, just to help me be a part of helping me get my son's story out, helping with other families, but also I want to incorporate. If you want to join in on my campaign as well to help me get my information out there to say, hey, look, this man is running for Congress to help Americans, to help find Americans out there to support me. For other reasons too, you can look at the website davidrossforcongress.com and you definitely can find out what other reason why I'm running. But definitely you can be a part of that by doing the non-search volunteer sign up. Your skills and everything that you may have, all the information is right here. If you have marketing skills, communication, your attorney, lawyer, anything that you think can help my efforts to find my son, because it's still my run for Congress also is part of that effort to find my son. It's also part of the effort to help other Americans out there that I've been advocating for over 3 years now. All of it mashed up together is what I'm saying. So again, that's the way you can support. Also, you have the print the flyer form button here if you want to help with resources to save money, to help me say, Ms. Robinson, you know what? I know you're giving people these flyers out for free, but if you want to print them out yourself, this is another form of donating. So I really appreciate it if you're printing them out and put them into your community. This is the PDF for that, for those who want to help in that manner, in that fashion. Also, you come down on the page here, you can see my little corner, David's Corner. Let's call this David's Corner. Just talks about my run for Congress. I put on here, you guys, if you look in this corner here, it says chip in $6.23 to my campaign. That $6.23 is the date that my son went missing. He went missing on June the 23rd of 2021. I put 623 for those who want to donate to my campaign. And like I said, again, it's my efforts to find my son. It's my efforts to help all missing Americans. I'm representing all of you families out there who have a missing loved one and really looking for justice, looking for the avenue to get those data and information that is available to you. I'm fighting for those. So if I really need everyone that's listening to me right now to chip in, even if you're not in my state, it affects you. This missing American cases affects all Americans. I thought it would never in a million years happen to my family, but it did. We had that happen. It was a real shocker for my family. It's a shocker for me, and I'm still searching for my son. So it's something that's currently going on in this country, and I need your support to be effective. And that $6.23 would go a long way, and then you'll be surprised how your $6.23 can help me in my run. So also, you can also help Daniel's case by joining in on the mail-in protest. The mail-in protest, I've created that because you know what? A lot of people came and said, Mr. Robbins, I want to help. And your efforts to push law enforcement to do the right thing. And this is the way to do so. These are picket signs. You see these signs here. These are different picket signs. This is to show you the way they would look. But what you do is these are the PDFs for these picket signs here. You print these out. You print these out and you mail it to these departments here. The Buckeye Police Department, who's in charge of my son's case. Chief Robert Sanders is the chief now. Chief Hall had retired. Chief Sanders used to be the assistant chief, and now he's the chief of police for the Buckeye Police Department. We want to send that out to him every day. I mean, and many times you guys can. I'm trying to get thousands of these picket signs going to them every day. Let them know, hey, look, Dan's case is far from a cold case. We're not done yet. We're still fighting for him. It's not over. Just remember, Mr. Robinson have all these people still backing him, and we're gonna not let you forget. So you mail them into these departments: Robert Sanders, Buckeye Police Department, and also Maricopa County Sheriff Department, who's also responsible for my son's case. Maricopa County, everybody know him. Your state, the county, supersedes the city police. The city police and the like the Buckeye Police. Buckeye is in Maricopa County, and so we want to make sure that Sheriff Russ Skinner, who's an elected official, mind you guys, and I want you guys to remember that when he comes up for election this year. This gentleman do not want to even talk to me. I've been doing everything. He threw out these blanket statement, gave me a blanket letter saying, hey, basically pushing it back off to the Buckeye Police Department, who is, like I say again, my son went missing in Maricopa County. Of course, we say Buckeye Police Department is in charge, and he went missing in Buckeye, but he went missing in Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Department have responsibilities to my son's case, and I've been preaching that. So I'm still constantly fighting those things, but I need thousands of these letters sent out weekly to flood them with these letters so they will not forget. Again, please help find Daniel.com. Excuse me, everybody. Please help find Daniel.com is where you can come out and support my efforts. I want to say thank you again to everyone who's been watching me today. It's been a long ride. It's been a long time, and it's very hard, like I say again, to help a missing loved one, help a missing son. But it's also, one of those things, like I said before, sometimes God allowed things to happen. Now, I'm not saying he made something bad happen to my son. What I'm saying is, even though something happened bad to my son, he's missing. Good things could come out of it. And the good thing that came out of it is that I was able to do those 49 weeks of desert searches for my son. And I was able to, with the help of volunteers, was able to go out and find other human remains out in that desert and bring closures for families out there who just didn't know where their loved one is. They have some form of closure. When I say form of closure, nobody want to find their loved ones deceased, but was able to help them locate where their loved ones are, so they can have something mentally rested in their mind to say, now I know what happened to my loved one. And it's sad to say that it took me looking out for my son to help find their missing loved one. But those sometimes, like I say, good things can come out. Also, the fact that, being able to share other missing American stories, that is very, very important to me. Like I said, if Daniel was found yesterday, he was found a year ago, 2 years ago. He would have been by my side to do this kind of thing, because that's the kind of family we are, is to try to help others. And that's what we do. God put us on this earth to help each other. Despite of the climate that we're living in, we're very, very polarized and everything going on. There's decent people out there in this whole country. When I say decent people, I met them. I met a lot of people out there. I call them my extended family. And if you was out there in that desert with me, you know what I say in our safety briefing. You are my extended family. I call you family. Anybody who comes out and spend their gas money to meet me out in 180-degree weather looking for a missing geologist they don't even know, a person they don't know, standing by my side, they're family to me. And I've seen that no matter what walk of life you came from, the political ideologies or whatever you are, nobody cared. We always out there looking for a scientist, American scientist. They're looking for my son, a stranger, somebody they didn't know, but show so much love, and I show love to them as well. We love each other, and I really appreciate that, because I can see the spirit of what we have in this country when we all, like I said, take on the responsibility of being a human being, looking out for another human being. So again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who, like I said, have been so supportive of my efforts from day one. And like I said, I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping this, and I'm not going to give up my son. I'm not going to stop advocating for other missing Americans. I'm not going to do that. I have to continue to do so, and I need your support and your help. Again, you can get those flyers. I'll send out to you. I have a few that's in the box like this, but the ones that you receive will come from a different location. But please reach out and request those flyers on that please help find Daniel.com website. And I made it a little easier. I probably shouldn't put that screen up just now, because it's a lot easier going to the website and just hit that request the flyer form and get your information out. And we definitely can get those flyers out to you free of charge. If you want to help by printing them out yourself, you have the option to do so also. And don't forget, again, Dave Robinson for Congress. I'm running for U.S. Congress to continue my efforts, my fight for my son, as well as fight for all the missing Americans. And I need your support. Again, you saw on the website, please help find Daniel. You just the $2, $6.21, and that's based on June the 23 cents, June 23rd, when my son went missing. Also, you can visit davidrobinsonforcongress.com, davidrobinsonforcongress.com, if you want to support my efforts, like I say, my run for Congress. Support the grassroots movement for the missing by joining and supporting my campaign. And you see the information right here, davidrobinsonforcongress.com. That's davidrobinsonforcongress.com. There's also a QR code button right here if you want to donate today. I really need your support. I need to have staff. I need to be competitive. I'm running against a incumbent who's been in office for over 20 years. We need change in my state, for one thing, for sure. To bring some changes and some representation for everybody in my community. You guys know who I am. You've seen me for over 3 years. I'm representative for everyone, no matter who you are. And that's what I stand for. We have, unfortunately, not having that type of representation. So I want to make a change in this seat that we have in my state. And also it put me in a position to be able to help all the missing Americans out there, because I do have things that I want to help put in place. Like I said, we need a CLEAR Act in all the states. We need legislation that would allow families to have free course to the data that's available. Have law enforcement have free course to the data that's available. Also to push for a longer retention time of this data. So it's a lot. It's a lot that I've been looking to, and I had the opportunity, and God put me in the right place, right time to work with the senators in Arizona and learn a lot, to talk to telecommunication companies, etc. All in the efforts to find my son. I learned a lot that would help other Americans, and I need to be put in the right place. And I only can do that with you guys' your support. You cannot vote for me unless you're in South Carolina, but you can support the campaign by donating. Donating will get me far to where I need to go, and put me in the right place to be able to do the job that I set out to do, in a continuation to find my son and help other Americans. So again, information down here on the bottom of the screen. Thank you again for even watching. Thank you for supporting. I love each and every last one of you. I want to look in the comment section real quick because I haven't done this in a long time, and I really miss everyone. And I've been doing these lives for a while, and one of the things I normally would have done is to be able to put, some of your comments and things up. So I just want to say thank you so much for just being here. But I want to make sure I put them up, and I'm gonna change my back screen because I have some lag, and I think it'd be better to take the backdrop off so that lag can go away. But again, I want to say thank you so much, Lola, Lamola. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you for being here. Also, thank you, Kim. Thanks so much for being here. I really, truly appreciate it. Esther, thank you for constantly being here. I really appreciate you always supporting from day one. Also, let's see, I have something here. May have some questions as well. Um, Mr. Bain, say, Daniel, you will be found always in my prayers. Stay strong, Mr. Robinson. Yes, I will. Thanks so much. We will find Daniel. It's only a matter of time because I'm not giving up. And it's only a matter of time my son will be found. And I will find him alive. So I'm looking forward to that. And God's going to bless. Kataya T. Thanks so much for being here. Also, thank you. Let's see who else I have. So I'm going to pull this up. Am I getting this? Okay, there we go. Danetta, thank you so much for being here. They the check for DNA. No, they have not. And so that's the thing, I'm gonna throw that out in July the 19th. My son's vehicle showed up in that ravine. Rancher found it on July the 19th. He said he was there July the 17th in that same ravine looking for his cattle. The vehicle wasn't there. He came back on July the 19th. He checked to see his cattle came through yet because they go down to this ravine. He to this corral, and that's when he saw the Jeep and he reported it. There was no forensics done on the scene, no type of forensics because I recorded myself talking to the detective of Buckeye Police Department who told me, and they cannot say they didn't do this. They can't say, oh, we had did some forensics on the scene. They have not. On that call, he told me that he didn't see no reasons why to do any forensics on that scene. So they did not. Only reason why you guys heard of any type of forensics on this whole case was on my meeting. I think it was like 2 or 3 days after that vehicle showed up on the 17th. I had a meeting with the Buckeye Police Department, and I demanded those forensics to be done. I was very upset. When I say forensics, they didn't do a full. I didn't know what to ask for. I'm a novice. I'm not a detective. It's not my job. I just asked them. I said, y'all got to do something. This is the thing they said to me though. I said, how I know from based on what I'm hearing that my son was driving that vehicle, and I think his name was Hanneman, Sergeant Hanneman, something to that effect. Said, well, it's his vehicle. Of course, he was driving. I'm like, that don't make sense to me. How you know that? You can't say because of somebody's vehicle they was driving that vehicle. And then that's when I pretty much asked them, did they doing forensic? No forensic done. Well, I demand y'all do something, swab for fingerprints or something, get fingerprints or whatever. I didn't know what to ask for. What they end up doing is swabbing and to this date, they haven't matched it compared to anything, didn't do anything with it. So I think it's a formality, something they didn't really, I don't know if they really even done it. But they saying they swabbed the steering wheel, they swabbed the shifter of the vehicle where you change the gear, and also a door handle on the driver's side. And they call that forensics work. No airbag testing, nobody on the passenger side, no looking for fire, no anything, right? All that was just a something because I asked for it. They held the vehicle. They already returned the vehicle over to me, held it for a few more days to do that for me, they say, and gave the vehicle back to me again. But one of the thing is, what I'm saying is, there's no forensics done on that vehicle. They waited over a year later, almost 2 years later, and asked me for a razor to compare Daniel's DNA to what they claim they did as a swab on a steering wheel shifter and the door panel, like I said, door handle, like I said, and that's ridiculous, right? They would not have handled a police officer vehicle that was found in a manner. My son's vehicle was found. That was a law enforcement officer, one of their own, or their children, or something like that. We already know it was already been automated foul play. First of all, it would have been automatically. They wouldn't have told the family that where this officers. We found his gun and everything in a pile. in front of the vehicle, his ID and all that, but he's butt naked running in the desert and everything fine, no foul play. We already know how that would have rolled if it was law enforcement or one of their own children, or one of them, and they would have been all over it. There'd been law enforcement, probably even from South Carolina, all over Arizona, look for that one officer. So um, the thing is, I've been fighting for 3 years to get the same treatment in my son's case that they would if it's one of their own. And so, and that's what I'm doing for not just my son, but for every missing American out here in this country. So thanks so much. Roof Tracker by Yari. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Good rising, beloveds. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Justice for Jennifer and Andrea Wicks. Are law enforcement currently working on anything at all? No. But I can say, my condolences to the family of Jennifer and Adriana. I guess I say Adriana. I'm assuming you say justice for them. I don't know if they are missing or there's something else that happened, but wherever it may be, you look for justice. I'm praying for justice for you and their family. So thank you for joining in today. Also, I have Lynn. Thanks so much for being here. Lexi, thanks so much for being here. Praying for him. I truly appreciate you praying for us, my family, Daneil. I truly appreciate that. Also, I have Valian. Thanks so much for the prayer for strength and endurance for your son. He is found. I appreciate that. Also, let's see, Danetta. Yes, they need to do more, and they do, and I'm going to continue to fight for that more. I say thank you, everyone who's joining in and being a part of my live today. Your son will be found, and your fight will continue to inspire and help others. I will support. Thank you so much, Kayla. Cal, I can't say your name correctly. I apologize, but thank you so much for saying that and supporting. I truly appreciate you for that. Maria, thank you so much as well. Marla, thanks so much as well. Trying to get in contact with Orthrum Forensics Laboratory and get them involved. They are featured in August 2024 Texas Monthly Magazine. Thank you so much for doing that. I truly appreciate you. And like I said, it takes things like that. Everybody has been a part, some form of fashion in my efforts to find Daniel, and I really appreciate it. National Advocates for Missing and Exploited, popping into to wish you well in your efforts to find him. Keep holding the line. Never give up sharing. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you. God bless you for doing that. Terry as well. Decker, you're doing a wonderful thing by sharing other missing persons that the public know nothing about. And that's thank you so much. And you're right. One of the things, like I say again, it's a lifeline for every family to have someone to share a story. Just share a story. And like I said, you'll be very surprised how that how that would go a long way into helping the family find their loved one, because you'll be surprised how I've seen it happen. I have a friend of mine who daughter was missing, and was able to come back. Her mother did not give up. Her mother was out there and working really hard, and for her daughter. I mean, like really hard, and so they reunited. So I mean, things can happen. Thank you so much, Tavi, for being here. Sorry, I'm late. You're not late. You're right on time. No notification was given. Yes, I just threw a live up. I didn't do any presets. I just wanted to get on because running for Congress is not a hard job. It's a busy job, and I'm always have to work hard on this campaign. It's going to like change the lives of many when I win, and I will win, and I need your support to do so. But it's going to help. It's going to help, get some things back on track, as well as, like I said, for Missing Americas. And I do a whole lot of things in my preparation for this win in November. And so that's why you don't see me doing the lives as much as I want to. And so what I had to do is, again, I just had to jump on and do it. I'm planning to do more lives, and the next live I'm doing is going to be catered to my congressional run. But you're not late. Like I said, you're not late, Tavi, and I really thank you for always being here, support my son and my efforts to find him, and also to share other missing American stories. Thank you, Esther. It's likewise to you being here. No one will know the person's mind better than the family and friend, and that's correct. Again, families do their due diligence, and having said that, with the due diligence, that is the first thing a family does. We look and say, "Hey, look, we know our loved one is missing. We know something's not right. We know when, they're just not going to just walk away." Like some would say, like the Buckeye Police Department told me, he said, "Well, maybe your son wanted to be away from his family, join the monastery, become a monk." Like what officer would say something like that? He's so called a detective would say something like that to a family. My son is not going to join a monastery and become a monk. And if he did, he would have told, if he decided he wanted to do that, Daniel is a person that would say, "Hey, Dad, you know what? I think I want to be a monk." Now, I'll be honest with you, as a parent, as a person that know my son, that sounds kind of weird. I'm like, okay, well, what make you come up with that decision? But ultimately, if it's his decision, he know he can do what he want to do. That's the kind of family we have. We can talk about whatever. And so me and my son have normal 2-hour conversations. I miss those badly. And again, I'm gonna throw this in real quick. That's why I say to you all, every time I finish my live, I like to say, you have conflicts with your loved ones. That's called family dynamics. It is what it is. We're human beings. We're not the same person. We're gonna have differences and things like that. That's normal, even with your spouses, people that you love, friends, family. Uh, but one thing for sure, if you know you love a person, tell them you love them as much as you can, because you may get opportunity we never could say it again. And despite of an argument or any type of conflict, you could throw that in real quick. You know what? I love you, and that's the reason why I'm not going to talk to you right now. But I want you to know I love you. But we just need space right now until we get over this whatever moment you got going on. Because not saying that happened with my family because it didn't with Daniel, but what I'm saying is this whole tragedy of him going missing is unexpected. I'm sitting out in my favorite area that Daniel even know where it is at, enjoying my retirement from my military duties, and my daughter I get that phone call from my daughter, and it just changed our whole entire life. From that point on, 2 days prior to my son going missing, the last time I talked to him for 2 hours, we always have. I never to that point. I have never been able to talk to Daniel and tell him I love him. All right, son, love you. Can't do it until I find him. So so you never know. And what I'm saying is, don't take those moments for granted. But yes, definitely the family would know when something is not right. And thank you so much, Kataja. Thanks so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you and sweet. I really appreciate that. God bless you, and thanks so much for support. That always put a smile on my face. I remember doing these lives and seeing the super chats, and it really, really touching my heart that we have people like you, and as well as everybody who's listening, supporting what I'm doing. I truly appreciate it, and God bless you for that. JC Adams, thank you so much for being here as well and continue to support. Good morning. God bless you, Mr. Robinson, praying for you to find Daniel, and we will. The prayers of a righteous man availeth much, and I really believe that. And you also have, thank you for the information. I would chip in and support you. Thank you so much. God bless you. I really appreciate that, JC Adams. And I have, let me see here. All right. Thank you. Good again. I want to say I can say I can chew up some words, some names. So, but thank you so much. We respect your work, and thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Also, thank you, Headstones and Headlines. So glad to catch you live. We'll replay the beginning. May Daniel be found very soon. Yes, and thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for your support. Everybody who's here, thanks so much. I see Shrinking Sharon. Those who on the Instagram, let's see, make sure I didn't lose anybody on the Instagram side. I think I should. There we go. I still have you there. Thank God. I had to keep you on that screen. If I don't keep you on the screen, some way Instagram try to keep people off a lot of times. But I want to say thanks so much, Shrinking Sharon, and say hello, everyone. At Mars and David. Yeah, and thank you for my moderators out there. I know you're in the background keeping the chats going safely, and I really appreciate you. Um, and see Kent Valley. The QR code isn't working for me. Oh, I apologize if if anybody having a hard time with this QR code. I'm not sure if it's because I have the overlay in my background. But if you want to visit davidrobinsonforcongress.com, that's davidrobinsonforcongress.com, you can donate there. That's another avenue. But I would check into that Kent Valley and see what's going on with the QR code to make sure it's working properly. And I don't know if it's, like I said, the overlay with the that kind of blending in together. I can see it on the screen here. But yes, thanks so much for reaching out and let me know that. But davidrobinsonforcongress.com. Again, Tavi, thanks so much for being here. Dog Defender, thank you again because you constantly here as well and been supporting from day one. I really appreciate you. Good morning, Mr. Robinson. So good to see you. I will always need. I will always need here to. I will be here to support. So thank you so much, and I know you will. And thanks so much, and God bless you. A Stacy Smith, thanks so much for being here. Good luck to on this next step. Praying that you will find Daniel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will find Daniel. God help me. David, I run a 911 center, and I do my best to train my staff to always give 100% when they take a missing persons call, and that is key. And thank you so much, Stacey, for doing that. My heart goes out to anyone missing a loved one. Thank you so much for doing that because yes, we need people all hands on deck when it comes to that. And your profession that leads into those information going into law enforcement, we definitely need all hands on that to make sure families are getting out there quickly, as the information get out there quickly and fast as possible. Because I know that's a show that we like to watch. A lot of people may watch called the first 48 hours. That's fine and dandy when it comes to a situation where a person was murdered. Detectives have, they call it that window of the first 48 hours to get that information if they want to solve this case. But when it comes to a missing person case, I say the first minute the person called, that family called, like you're saying, Stacy, at that 911 center, on that family call, or call that police department, or however the case may be, that first minute, that first hour is important. It's a little different from a case where somebody's lying on the ground and the detectives had to figure out what happened. You know, a lot of times when people get adopted, for instance, we have a lot of people go missing because of human issues. Okay, I lost myself a second. When you have those issues of adoption, for instance, you know, it's quick. We need law enforcement to jump on it quick. So we cannot afford to have law enforcement say crazy things. Well, as a grown person, well, we'll put a little ABB out or whatever, and that's it, and be settled with it because this person as an adult. We do have the silver alert for adults that's over age or elderly. We have the amber alert for children. Then we kind of like skip everybody in the middle, say they need to fend for themselves. But we're gonna stop that, and that's why, like I said, a friend of mine in Louisiana trying to trying to push for adoption of the clear alert that Texas will use right now. We want to make sure that that's universal in all the states here in the United States for adults that are missing. When you see information on the highway, riding down the road, some information right there on those billboards that's already in place. It's not going to cost anything to get those things done. Get that alert out there really quick. That helps. That helps a family locate their loved one really quick or find out what happened to a person that end up going missing. So it's a shame where we're closed-minded to not help everyone, and we kind of say, hey, well, you did it to yourself, or you're grown and you feel well, something happened to you that's too bad. You can help yourself. No, in some cases people can't. We see women getting snatched off the street a lot into human trafficking, and and you hear these stories where they actually survive, and they'll tell you these stories where the hell they went through during those years before they got rescued out of that situation, and so it's a shame for law enforcement to have anything in place that's not going to help people the age of my son when he went missing at 24 years old. So we're going to change that. Again, DaveRossForCongress.com. Jane, thanks so much. I will do everything within my power to help. It may not be much, but I will help. I thank you for that. Thank you so much. That's a lot what you just said, and I really appreciate it. My thoughts and heart will stay with you and your family, especially with Daniel. I will help. Thank you so much, Janine. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Also, see Kim, thank you again. That's right, attitude. That's the right attitude, Mr. Robinson. When you win, definitely rooting for you, and all your challenges you going to make, all your changes you're going to make, all the way from South Africa, United. Big chances can be big changes can be made. Thank you for not only looking out for Daniel but for many other missing people. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. To joining in from South Africa, and all those who have been following. I want to say this too. And not everybody that has been following just come from the United States, and I want to applaud those who been living outside of this country, who's been supporting my efforts from day one. And you know who you are, and you as well, Kim. I really appreciate those who have been doing that. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that my son Case has went further than just the United States, but it went out abroad. And that's one thing, like I said, about Daniel's his nature. One thing he told me before he went missing that he gonna travel abroad. He wants to learn other cultures and be immersed. He just love we love people. He get it, like I said, don't fall from the tree, far from the tree. We love people. We like to know about other people's culture and their life and be a part. We are all humans on this earth. We all share one planet. So just the fact that I really appreciate those who no matter where you're at have been supporting. So I thank you. Coco just sent monthly donation to support. Thank you so much. God bless you and your efforts. You support your efforts and added a post on social media. Thank you, Coco. Truly appreciate it. I really need it. Need it. Thank you so much. And everybody else who's listening, we really need it. I need to be effective. I need to get the message out there. I need to be on the ground doing the work. And like I said, everybody who's helping, Coco, you help. You're with me when we're on the ground doing the work. Building a team. Getting the efforts out there, getting the word out there, and let everybody know we have missing Americans out here that need to be supported. We talk about everything else. We talk about all kind of things in this country, and we're kind of overlooking what's the obvious that's happening in this country. And I'm gonna make sure that don't continue to be that way. So I have a missing loved one of my own, and I know every family that have a missing loved one is going through. Absolutely. Thanks so much, Tavi, again. I really appreciate everybody. Again, Dave Ross for Congress. Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. My son Daniel, still searching for him, and I'm going to continue to fight for him. I don't know, I'd be reluctant to even say or even have that in my heart and my mind to think there should be a father somewhere out there who wouldn't be doing the same thing I'm doing for their children. A lot of time people look at a person and say, well, again, just like I was saying about this clear alert that we need in place. Say, well, that person is a grown person, right? That's what law enforcement attitude is. You're a grown person. But you know what? That grown person is loved by a father like me. He's 24 years old, young adult. He still looked like a child to me. He's 24 years old when he went missing. But to me, I see as when I was a single parent, I see my little boy. I see my young man growing up and starting his life, and he have his dreams. And my son, it didn't have so much as a speeding ticket. Contributed to society, working hard, made good grades. Just want to do everything he can to help others. And he wasn't perfect, young man, not by any stretch. Neither of us in this world, I believe, is perfect on everything. So, but nevertheless, he's a law abiding citizen. Like I said, loved by his family. Very, very. If you look at the pictures and stuff I've been putting up over the years of Daniel, very loved by his friends and family, the people oriented, you name it. That's Daniel Robinson. So, it's natural for a person to look at me and say, well, you biased. You're a father. You're gonna be biased. But yes, I should be, and I have to because I know I have a good son I know how he was raised, his mother and myself, did good raising our children. So um, I could say that, just miss him. I miss my son. And, so he's the driving force of me doing everything I'm doing. And you guys are my second driving force of doing everything I'm doing. I'm telling you, everyone, when I see the super chat I saw earlier, I see you, the comments and things that you made. Those are morale boosters. One thing I learned when I was in the military out there in Afghanistan, I remember the first day I got there, I looked over at this mountain. I could hear them doing their prayer this morning when I woke up, and I went outside of our tent and I just look over the ridge and I seen this big mountain ridge, and I thought about it. I said, you know what? It's not like I can go home. I can just catch a plane and just go home, or get in the car and ride down the street and I'm home. This is where you're living for the next 14 months, and in a war zone. And sometimes when you're out in the war zone, you can lose that morale if especially when we start losing soldiers, and you think about the next time it can be you. And but when you have these things where soldiers, we get these care packages from our loved ones that take care of us, because of course, we don't have no stores and things, so we rely on our families, and we get these care packages, and some those things mean a lot. I remember getting things for an organization called Soldier Angels, I think the name of it was. Getting these care packages from them when you had the little kids from schools writing, had a little handprint and writing things. You're a hero, or thank you for being an American soldier, or whatever the case may be. The little kids write little things and make these little things from their schools. Those are morale boosters. It's morale boosters for not just the soldier, but for the whole unit when we get things that happen tragically in our while our time was in war. And so it's the same thing I have in here with my son. It's hard. Hard to imagine, to keep imagining every day that I did, and it just remind myself every day I haven't heard my son's voice. And you do everything you can not to forget your child's voice, listen to old voicemails and things. But to hear people like yourself that's supporting, it's a morale booster, to keep you going. So I really appreciate everybody who's been doing that in one form or fashion, whether it's sharing Danny's story, whether supporting me financially, whether just saying things on these chats, and just everything. Everything you have done, every little bit count. I heard one person just said, "Hey, I can't give much." No, you give a lot. Just by supporting me, just being here, just listening to me right now, that's a big support. So I really appreciate that. One way or the other, those who just literally just for this channel, this Please Help Find Daniel YouTube channel, when you hit that like button or share button, that's helping the algorithms get Daniel's story out farther. That's support. To me, I call it all support, and we all working together, one form of fashion out the other. So whatever you do, whether in any form or fashion, I really thank you, and I really love you for what you do. Again, I could be over talkative and talk too long, but what I'm saying is I want to thank everybody for being who you are, human beings just like me, being a part of my efforts and my family of a grassroots family to find my son. And also, I'm taking my grassroots family all the way to U.S. Congress, and I need your support. DavidRobinsonForCongress.com, DavidRobinsonForCongress.com. I want to say thank you again to everyone, and I'll see you on my next live. I will be doing one, like I said, again, that's going to be dedicated directly to just directly to my campaign. So those who want to support right now, that's a QR code. I have one person say that QR code on the screen. Not doing too well. I'm not sure. But we'll go check onto that. And then also, if you're having that issue, again, DavidRobinsonForCongress.com. You can go to Please Help Find Daniel as well. It's on the front page. DavidRobinsonForCongress.com is where you can donate. If you're not in my state, you can't vote for me, but I really need your financial support. And I'll asking everybody, $6.23. $6.23 is June the 23rd, when my son went missing. And so I want you all to donate and help me win this race, make it to Congress. So thanks so much. God bless each and one. We'll talk to you next time.